G'day Flip fam, welcome back to the channel, and today we are visiting our friend's shop, Mighty Toys Collectibles. He specializes in Funko Pops, but he also has a few little gems hidden around the shop like Gundam kits and trading cards. So we'll check it out and see what's there. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about Funko Pops, but we are here today to learn about them from someone who definitely does. Now, the first thing that caught my eye were these life-size Goku and Vegeta statues. Now, Tommy's friend actually 3D printed these, and they're a full 1-to-1 scale, and each of these took around 400 hours to print, which is insane. They're not cheap either. Goku is priced at $1,400 while Vegeta is $1,200. Either way, it's a great piece for any collector and anyone to display if they have the space. If I did, I definitely would. I mean, who wouldn't want a life-size Vegeta hanging out in their office? Now, some Funko Pops are properly expensive. This Vegeta one was once $15,000. Now, in today's market, after the hype has died down, it's still worth quite a fair bit, around $6,000 to $7,000, which is wild to think about. And it's estimated that only around 90 of these were made. That's what really drives the price of Funko Pops, or even just any collectibles. It's just the limited runs, the limited releases, discontinued items, and demand from collectors. Now, Funko Pops has been around for about 20 years now, and for the first 12 years especially, there's high demand for resellers and collectors alike. Tommy thinks that a lot of the collectors and the resellers out there have switched to trading cards like Pokemon. And you know what? That really makes sense to me. The boxes are quite bulky, it's hard to store, whereas compared to cards, you can put them in a binder, you have a lot more, and there's a lot more value in there as well. And then when you look into each different set, like Naruto for example, there are thousands of different variants, and it's very similar to sneaker collecting back in the day. The issue I found is, where do you start storing them? Now, Tommy is a fan of anime and he watches a lot of it, and apparently he has the perfect excuse for it now. It's for the business, it's research, he needs to know about these things, he needs to know what they're coming up and the favorite characters are. It also helps that he's a huge Power Ranger fan, and he has recently started watching again. Power Rangers merchandise can go crazy around anniversaries, reboots, and big events, but outside of those moments, it can be a slower seller, which is pretty common in the collectible world. Now, Tommy said he used to have an entire aisle dedicated to Gundam kits, and dang, I wish he did. But distributors have slowed down supply in Australia. He says it tends to happen every 10 years or so, with stock being prioritized for bigger markets like America and Japan, of course. Tommy thinks part of it is also about creating supply and demand. He can still order more kits, but not at the usual wholesale price, so it makes things a lot harder for smaller stores here in Australia. Now, this could be a bit of an issue for the community that collects Funko Pops, and maybe a bit irritating or frustrating, because Funko can be a little bit sneaky when it comes to limited or rare runs. There's no real outside body policing what counts as limited or even what's counting as authenticated compared to PSA and Beckett for trading cards and sports cards. And in the past, Funko has released something as a limited run or claimed it was a limited run, and collectors go out and rush and buy them thinking that nothing is going to be released again. But a few years later, they do the same release. Understandably, the collectors aren't happy about that because one, it devalues their collection, and on top of that, there are plenty of fake Funkos around. So naturally, I had to ask Tommy how he can spot the difference. Now, if you're enjoying this and you're finding it a whole different world or finding a lot of similarities between Funko Pops and your hobby, comment below, like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. Tommy showed me a few ways to spot a fake Funko Pop, and to me, you know what, it looked exactly the same. Like, it's hard for me to distinguish which is real or fake when I held them in my hand. But I guess to the trained eye, very similar to me, you can spot a fake trading card, a Pokemon card, or, etc. And if you've been in the hobby for a while, you can start spotting these fakes quite easily. So going through it was quite beneficial for me, because one easy detail is the logo. On genuine boxes, the middle V shape in the letter M only comes halfway down. On many fake boxes, it goes all the way down. You can also look at the artwork on the front. Fakes often have thicker outlines around the characters, lower quality colors, and text that looks slightly off. Very similar to trading cards as well. Newer Funko Pops also have an authenticity sticker or a QR code that you can scan. It's not the only thing to check, but it's a good place to start. When I first asked Tommy how he got all into this, he jokingly said the money. But after that joke, he explained that he had a growing collection simply because he loved collecting. Eventually he started thinking, what if I turn this into a shop? The downside to all this is that it can be harder to appreciate collectibles when they become your business. It can get stressful and it changes the relationship you have with the things you used to collect just for fun. Now we're jumping into this conversation a little bit halfway through because some of the earlier footage didn't make it. But Tommy's friend has created a card game, and from what we saw, it's clearly built by someone who loves the hobby. Now Tommy's card collection is on a whole different level. You know, going through it, he's got like I think 3 or 4 binders, you know, and what I saw, it's just like some of the chases that I want to have as well. It's easily 300 to 400k there, probably even more, you know, as the value goes up and down. But the biggest standout was that, you know, they had a Mewtwo collection there, you know, 2 different ones. One had an error print, you know, just on the thigh of the Mewtwo, sometimes called a tattoo error. And, you know, calling it like the tattoo error print, I think is pretty cool as well. Now, Tommy has acquired this collection with his friends through trading, collecting, and opening packs. And honestly, that's one of the best parts of the hobby. Chasing the cards that you like and sharing the wins and losses with someone who appreciates the hobby with you is even better. Now, he talked about how he likes how I organize my particular cards, you know, with the placeholders in there. You know, that's quite easy. And if you really wanted to have a tutorial on how to do it, let me know, comment on the link below, or just have a look through in one of my shorts. Knowing nothing about Funko Pops, and I'm leaving with a much better understanding of why people get invested into them. It's not just about buying figures, it's about the characters you love, the hunt for rare pieces, and if you have enough room, but it's also about building a collection that feels like yours. You know, big thanks to Tommy for showing me around and teaching me about the differences between a cool pop and a seriously collectible one. Just don't blame me if I suddenly start running out of shelf space because, you know, I started picking a few up as well, like this Gengar. This one was actually from Aldi for $5, so I was like, I have to pick it up. But we eventually came back to Tommy's and we actually got a few for my nephew as well. But thanks again, Flip Fam. Until the next one, speak soon. Peace.
Flip Fam! Flip Fam! Fame! Flee from your chest! All the way up! Flip Fam!